Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:09 on the clock, which is the Hanging Man and the Hermit. And here you are hanging out with the Hermit, because I'm Virgo. So that's very interesting. I just got a very profound message when I meditated for you guys, which I'm going to tell you that first, and then we're going to do our deep breaths. I just don't want to lose the energy of the message because it was very profound. So I just went into my inner child to ask for my message. And the first thing I was getting was her like zooming around. I was getting a satellite gone haywire. And then Austin Powers was coming up. And you know those drawings we used to do, you know, where you draw a line straight across and it's like a character hiding behind the line. So you just do like a half moon with the eyes and the hands above the wall. That kind of picture. And then Austin Powers came up doing this, you know, where he goes down the steps behind the couch. The illusion of going down the stairs behind the couch and saying groovy baby or whatever Austin Powers would say. That was coming up. And then Steve Austin came up as the Bionic Man. So I was definitely getting like, you know, Sophia the Bionic, she's not called the Bionic Woman, but paralleling those. So Sophia the artificial person, I'm paralleling, I guess, a man that's coming out, a Bionic Man. But I was also getting the upgrades to the brain because I was getting the left eye. My left eye started flickering like crazy, which then would regard my right brain. And I'm left-handed, so I'm very right-brained. But there's upgrades to the right brain, so you'll be more connected with your intuition, your higher self. And again, the 22nd, after the 22nd is when this is supposed to happen. So again, I was getting a lot of flickering on the left side. So maybe you're going to visually be seeing a lot of flickering on the left side, so don't worry about it. Again, I was getting the upgrade to the right brain. And then I was seeing like a Frankenstein, but a female with the metal piece around Frankenstein's head, but her hair was long and sticking out straight sideways and back. So it was like literally like a flat hat of hair sticking out straight after being like, you know, shocked or something. But that was just the image I was getting. She was on her hands and knees, like she was like shocked with, you know, she couldn't stand up. She was so drained of energy. And then I was getting that person kind of like crawl. She was on her hands and knees and just barely being able to get into a bed and just flop over on her back and just collapse. It's 12:12 on my clock right now. And then I was getting her waking up in the morning, all of a sudden refreshed and wise and feeling very profound. So there's definitely a major upgrade happening here. I'm going to go through that one more time so you get the sequence of events that I just experienced. Oh, I forgot this. Before any of this happened, before I went into my meditation, and I finished that at 12:07, at 11:45, which is the time of my birth, I was cleaning up my desktop and I was putting away a picture, one of the pictures I posted recently of the beautiful bird. It was a close-up of a bird with a full wingspan. And I was putting that away into a file. At 11:45, as a bird hit my front window, I'm taking a picture of a bird and putting it away. As the bird hit my front window at 11:45, which is the time of my birth. And that's what started me sitting down and then going into my meditation before the video. So again, I was seeing, my little girl was showing me like a satellite gone haywire, like zipping around the sky, like totally out of control. And then Austin Powers coming in, along with that little drawing that we used to do. And I'm going to show you that drawing in case you're not sure what I'm talking about. See that one right there? Right there. And that's not exactly it. I was just trying to remember what it was. But it's, you know, like the little character peeking over the wall that we used to draw in like elementary school and junior high school. And then Austin Powers going down the stairs behind the couch and saying groovy baby. And then Steve Austin with the Bionic Man and the left eye fluttering, referencing the left side of the body, but the right brain, right? Because the left eye is the left body. And then the upgrades to the right brain. And again, the 3 nights, which I'm going to bring that up in this read too. I was getting the 3 nights of darkness, and I'm getting today's the 19th into the 20th, into the 21st, and into the 22nd are the 3 nights, and then going into this upgrade here. And the 3 nights of darkness comes up as something completely different than what you would think it is, and I'm going to bring that up too. At 12:07, again, the Frankenstein feminine with a metal head thing on, like Frankenstein would have. But again, her hair sticking straight out like she's been electrocuted, and down on all fours because she has no energy. She's like so depleted, just barely able to crawl into bed, and then wakes up the next morning and just sits up completely beautiful and wise and feeling very profound with that kind of smirk on her face that she now understands. So you may be going through this. Let me know what happens for you. I was getting a very specific sequence of events there. So, and some of the other stuff that comes up in the read today will parallel with that message as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take our deep breath. There's a little bit of a clanking there. One more deep breath. And one more deep breath. Yes, it's okay to be excited. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys, and thank you so much for being here with me. Again, to clear yourself, you might want to imagine a magnet above your head, taking up all of the things in your body and your field that don't belong to you. But remember to fill that with beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light and the pieces of your soul that need to come back into your body and ground, being coherent with all the other parts of your body, very grounded into your body. Then I am of God, I am of Mother, Father, Christ, Sophia, Amana, Creator, however you want to call the source, Creator, and you are grounded to the earth. All right, so I did a little bit of a different message of the day today because I'm getting kind of tired of the Lenormand Reverie. I also have a union read and a twin flame read. I'm going to roll the die. So instead of the Lenormand Reverie for the message of the day, I have a deck. I forget what it's called. It's a Rider-Waite laminated version. So it's called something else, but it is the Rider-Waite deck. I have that deck separated into just the court cards, but it's not just the court cards. It's all the cards I consider court cards. So like the nines, they weren't in there in the original draw. I just had the court cards with a few other cards that really are people for me, like the Emperor, and the Emperor are trump cards or major arcana. But for me, they're people. So whatever I considered people, I had pulled them separately from the deck and used them to clarify like who's who. So I decided to use just the court card deck that I'd made. So the first draw I did, which I'm going to show you, was the original cards I had set aside, but the second draw I did for you today, I added the pages that weren't in there, and the Knight of Pentacles was missing. Like I had the other knights in there, but not the Knight of Pentacles. So there's something specific about the Knight of Pentacles. But I'll show you what I did. It was very interesting because I love the dynamic between the court cards because they really there's a lot of energy exchange between them. So let's go ahead and roll the die first, see what comes up. All right, so we have Venus again. We have Sagittarius here, the Archer, and the number 2, which is the High Priestess. It's also the Divine Feminine. It is the one-to-one exchange. It's the High Priestess is Pisces energy for me, but also could be Virgo or Aquarius. But we also have Sagittarius and Venus, which is reference or related to Taurus and Libra. So a lot of different energies, but Sagittarius is the south node right now, is what we're letting go of. And Venus, of course, is that energy of love. And then the 2 of the one-on-one relationships, which keep coming up in the past couple of days. So that's very significant. And again, the feminine energy. So let's go on from that. I'm going to show you the pictures and then get right into the messages of the day. All right, so here is the union read, 4D, 5D, 6D, divine feminine left, masculine right, the bridge between them in the center, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies, the Syrian starseed deck, And then here is the general read in front of you, the 7-deck read. Here's the basic read from the Syrian Starseed deck. And then the read is in front of you. This is the first message of the day that I told you about with my abbreviated deck. And then here is the second message of the day from that abbreviated deck that I added a few more cards to. So, and again, this is a 7-deck read. It's a lot of energy. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. These are general readings. If you want something more specific to you, you can check out my information below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I also have a CD out there called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe, if you want to check it out. It's only $1. So it's a great way to support my efforts. And if you want to make a donation, that button's below as well, or that address. So let's get going with the messages here. Okay. So the first message of the day, and again, today is the 19th, it's the sun, and the day adds up to the 6 of Wands, which is the 32, the journeyman, bringing in good news at the end of the war, basically, as we're about to go into 12:21 on the clock. Not quite yet, it's 11, that's so funny. It was just 11:09, which is the reflection of 9/11, and it's 12:20 on the clock right now. But I'm curious to see what this clock is when it turns to 21. It was just 11:21 on this clock. So, but I want to see what it is when it changes. So just give me 1 second. Take a deep breath. Okay, 34. So at 12:21, this clock changed to 11:34. So it's the 33 to 34 energy, which is the Christ vibration, and the 34 is the 8 of Wands, the energetic exchange between the twins, and then the 11 of the justice of that at 12:21, which was the conjunction back last year, right, of Saturn and Jupiter, and we have Sagittarius coming up here. So the beneficial energy of that conjunction, and then again the 12:21 that will be coming up this year. They're tying them in together right now for some reason. So let's see where that goes. So the message of the day, the first one was at 10:08. And we have, again, the journeyman coming in with good news, and the sun, which is exposing all, which is fully energized, happiness, fun, vacation, children, pets, all of those kind of energies, Leo. So you can bring up ego at the same time. So at 10:08, which happens to be a special date for me, not sure why, but it always has been. 10:08 is 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 8 of the Strength card, but also the manifestation of dreams and the dance between the masculine and feminine. And so again, this first message of the day was the Empress at the top with the High Priestess, perhaps partners or lovers or just in charge of the situation. And I often get them in the twin flame read as like the grandmother and her sister, or perhaps the old biddies who are very prejudiced in certain ways, but are also very wise in certain ways, right? Because they've lived a very long time. But however that comes up for you, the Empress would be that control and abundance, right? Because she is the Empress, she's the Emperor's partner. So there is an element of control over other people there, but also very abundant. And then the High Priestess, which also can be, just give me 1 second. So the Empress, again, can be with the High Priestess, which can be an aide or a nurse. So it could be someone who's, getting ill because they're older. It also could be a religious person or their religious counselor. It could be a nun, right? So the contrast between the abundant businesswoman and then the religious woman of no abundance at all, right? Of a vow of poverty. So there's this contrast, but yet togetherness of the Empress with the High Priestess, perhaps partners, lovers, or just in charge. And the King of Swords with the Queen of Wands, watching the Knight of Cups offer love to the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Wands here is watching the couple, right? The Knight of Cups offering love to the Queen of Cups. And they could be a couple. They can be the masculine offering love to the feminine. It can be two siblings or two water signs being loving to each other. But the Queen of Wands is able to watch this offer of love, and the King of Swords is not able to watch it. He's looking straight forward. The sovereign Queen of Swords speaks to the divine feminine world, the lovers and the twins, as the Queen of Pentacles is focused on stability perhaps, or perhaps just staying grounded, as opposed to sovereignty, though. The Emperor and the King of Cups are together here, receiving news and guidance. The Knight of Swords, who would come against them, like they're challenging them, is with the Hermit or an advisor with light on, in an exchange between the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So the Dark Knight walks past the children, and if you know the Death card, it's about the horse stomping right over the dead old man, and the children are horrified by this, as the religious man is trying to block them from going forward. So the Dark Knight walks past the children and the Hierophant, or the religious leader, to connect with the soulmate, as the King of Pentacles is meeting up with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. Okay, and there's definitely was an exchange between the Knight of Wands coming over to the King of Pentacles side to extend their help out to them. The Emperor, Dark Knight, and the King of Cups, who's a loving father energy, right? They're unconditionally love, with the King of Pentacles fighting them back so that the Hermit can help them with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, who are curious about what they have to offer. But remember here, the Knight of Pentacles was missing. So where's Waldo? There's the Knight of Pentacles, who's the loyal, humble servant. So the second read, after I added some of the cards that I felt were missing, including the Knight of Pentacles, that was at 1027, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 27 of the Ace of Wands, that ignition of the flame. At the top here was the Magician, the Fool, and the Devil. So very powerful at the top with the 3 major arcana. The first one also started with the major arcana, the Empress and the High Priestess. So here we have the Magician, the Fool, and the Devil, or Gemini, Aries, and Capricorn, in charge, as the Magician frees the Devil, or frees the ball and chain from the Devil, or the Magician and the Devil free each other. They also can come up as the polarities, with the Fool as the neutrality in the middle. Perhaps unable to sleep, with the High Priestess, who can also be an aide or a nurse or a religious counselor. The Queen of Wands is there, while the Judge or Justice is with the Queen of Cups and the Sovereign, or the Nine of Pentacles. So I was definitely getting sides split here, right? So here we have the Montagues and the Capulets. On my left, which would be their right side, was the Montagues, and then on my right side, or the character's left side, is the Capulets, or the Cups energy. And that comes up a lot in the Twin Flame reads. So there's definitely sides here, and then being free or neutral in the middle. The Queen of Swords speaks to self-satisfied or arrogant Dark Knight, who may be insisting on meeting with the Knight of Swords, the Empress, the King of Swords, and the Page of Swords, and the Divine Feminine world, or a Pisces perhaps. And for those of you not familiar with the signs, the Pentacles are earth signs, the Swords are air signs, the Cups are water signs, and the Wands are fire signs. And you can look them up. I mean, it's very common knowledge. So when I speak about the different characters, you know what element we're talking about. So if I talk about a Cup sign, it doesn't mean they have to be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but they could have a lot of that energy in their chart. You just don't know it because it's not their sun sign. But they're bringing off that energy. So the Queen of Swords speaks to the self-satisfied or arrogant Dark Knight, which can be a Scorpio energy there, but doesn't have to be, insisting on meeting with the Knight of Swords, the Empress, the King of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So you notice the Queen of Swords is on my left, and the rest of the Swords family is on the right, on the Capulet side. And the Divine Feminine world, or that can be their neighborhood as well. Or the Queen of Wands, Scorpio, is coming forward on behalf of the Queen of Swords, who's suffering in silence, coming forward to her family as the Knight of Swords, the Empress, the King of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So that could be a family with the grandmother. That could be a boss there as well. So with his mother, the Divine Feminine, or the world, or their neighborhood, or a Pisces person. So Divine Lover, Queen of Pentacles, who's got the Lovers and the Two of Cups, which is very much referencing the Twin Flame energy, is connected to the Dark Knight. So that could be the Divine Feminine, or Gemini Earth partnering with Scorpio, or with the King of Wands and the Emperor and the King of Cups. Those could be kind of 3 power guys. It could also be a father and their sons, or their partners, the Emperor and the King of Wands and King of Cups, but they may be on guard, or they're with the wounded warrior who's giving them an ultimatum on guard behind the scenes, or with professional guidance or the collective consciousness. All right, so even though they're tending to want to come to the other side, there's this wounded warrior who may be threatening them. If they do, I'm going to do this. So the King of Pentacles, who's on my left, right, the Montagues are on my left, the Capulets on my right. But for them, it's the opposite as characters. So the King of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands, right, meet. Remember, the Wands are mostly on the other side, but the Knight of Wands has come over to meet with the King of Pentacles, while the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups meet, right? It's always the children who bring people together, like Romeo and Juliet. The warrior is inspired to make an offer to the kids or soulmates, or the warrior is bringing the Page of Wands and Knight of Pentacles to see the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So they're all very young energies there, and that could be driving over to see them. And an offer of love and or friendship to them, perhaps to make peace between the two families. At 1040, which is the wheel and the 40 of the Page of Cups, again, that innocent, pure, beautiful love. On the Magician's side, which is my left side, not sleeping, psychic, religious, or with secrets and fiery, with lots of water on this side. Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, which is very interesting because we have all of the water signs on this side, and yet the Cups side is the other side on my right. The Queen of Swords is speaking on behalf of the Divine Masculines, self-satisfied and transformation, about self-satisfaction and transformation, while the Queen of Pentacles, twin, both lover and soulmate partner of the King of Pentacles, needing the Knight of Wands from the King of Wands in order to bridge the gap with them, and then he can bring the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles to connect on my right with the other young energies or messages to be love together. But it's, where the adults are being very prideful, the children are not. The children are bridging the gap. On my right side, or the Devil's side, because we have the Magician versus the Devil, and they can both be seen as that, right, that dark energy, with the Fool in the middle being more neutral and free. So the Devil side has the Judge or Justice, Libra or Divorce of the Queen of Cups and the Sovereign, or balancing giving of the heart and being sovereign, right, not giving too much of yourself. Swearing in the Devil or Capricorn in court perhaps, or tempting them again, the Knight of Swords, Speaker of the House, in rebuttal to the Queen of Swords and Dark Knight, with backup from Empress or Taurus, King of Swords, Page of Swords, and the World or Neighborhood and or Pisces. While the King of Wands and the Emperor and the King of Cups can relate to the other side, especially with the King of Wands' own kids, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands just went over there, but the Page of Wands was already on my left side of the Magician's side. So the King of Wands wants to be able to bridge the gap because his kids are over there. While the Wounded Warrior on the right is presented with choice of light or dark, while the Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups are with the King of Wands, Emperor, and King of Cups, who all want to come and join with the left side, my left side. The Emperor grandparent of the Page of Pentacles are also together on this, wanting to bridge, with the King and Queen of Pentacles on my left, with the King of Cups and the Page of Cups also wanting to bridge with the left, my left. The Knight of Cups is leading the way along with the Page of Cups for the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles to make peace and come along for the ride. The Knight of Cups is very fiery here, with Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups together, as well as the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles could be another couple of young kids or young adults together. Kids of fire and water were coming up as the traditionally bound families, but meeting with the non-traditionals and the Pentacles, leading the way could be the Queen of Cups and the Sovereign couple, who may be two women getting married, which then breaks down all of the obstacles, right? So if they've finally had to concede to that on my right side, which is the more traditional energy, then they're going to collapse everything else too, right? Because they've already agreed to two women getting married. So if the two women getting married on the traditional side, and then the Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups basically follow suit, right? Because they're the youngest on each side of the family, the Page of Cups, the Capulets, and the Page of Pentacles, the Montagues. They follow suit behind between the Montagues and the Capulets. The Page of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles, plus the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which can be siblings on each side, are the neutralizing factors here. So this was a very important message to come across. So now getting into the union. So the union read for the 4D5D60 was done at 12:08 yesterday, which is the Hanging Man and the Strength card of the dance. And we had the King of Swords in the underlying energy, the Six of Wands in the center, and then the Knight of Cups at the end. So again, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups have been coming up together yesterday and the day before. And again, I already established that the Knight of Swords was the King of Swords. So here's the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups coming up again with the Six of Wands in the center. The King of Swords mastering their thoughts and words, with good news leading the way by being love, always in the green room waiting to go on. The incoming Divine Feminine was alchemy, reflection in the tower, merging in a higher love, reflecting with light in a sudden fall of the shadow on the wall when lightning strikes, or an epiphany. Putting out one fire at a time, the alky, or the alk of E, reflecting or reflect, and I told you that the left eye was flickering, so I was looking up fleck yesterday to see what the different definitions are, and I was getting that energy. So the alky reflecting the tower in a sudden transmutation without the Emmy or the E, which is the 5D, or the expansion, the Elohim, the Eve, all of those feminine energies of high vibration being mine, right, which is my is ownership, the remark or relocking of the tower here. The King of Swords is patient with the Hermit's epiphanies and sudden events. The 4D here is the Page of Wands, the World, and the Knight of Wands. The Page of Wands inspired with female assistance, the Lion Child, excited, while the Knight of Wands is maturing with a slow burn, indigo and royal golden hue, extending their stride, bridging with ascension, completion, and the world in their right hand, the Divine Feminine part of the Divine Feminine granting wishes here in the 4D. In the 5D is the Queen of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Moon. The Divine Feminine with the Queen of Cups on vacation in the islands or falls with drink in hand. The Divine Masculine navigating the lunar cycles, the subconscious, and Cancer bridging with good news. At 12:33 is the Hanging Man and the Christ vibration. Again, the energy of Christ on the cross, ending the war and leading the way as one flame, two as one. The 6D here is the Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Page of Cups. The Divine Feminine in energetic exchange at the helm of 0 point. The Divine Masculine Page of Cups, that innocent love, with their heart open wide to the Knight of Cups making a splash. And that could be, a masculine energy showing off for the feminine energy. It also could be two children of very heartfelt energies, or water signs. Bridging in hiding or in a release by the creek, or nesting by the water. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Hanging Man, Justice, and the Eight of Cups. Hanging out in Divine Justice, the Divine Jew, which again is Jesus, or JL, or Jesus and the Holy Grail, which would then be Jesus and Mary Magdalene on the cross, walking away and within or on the beach together, blindly led or going where no man has gone before, to surf the green room, to swim in a coffee cup or infinity pool of wine and be loved. The Divine Feminine with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups in energetic exchange, inspired for an adventure to color our world. The Divine Masculine with the Knight of Wands at night with the Page of Cups, or the Knight of Wands romanticizing about the Page of Cups, or a message of love. Both perhaps with kids on each side, or each with one at home. The Divine Feminine dealing with fiery energy, and the Divine Masculine with water, and or vice versa. They may each have one of each. Bridging is ascending with the world in the right hand, leading the way on the journey of hide and release, and hanging out by the water, being led by feelings and knowing, not eyes. The Divine Feminine had Sagittarius, Virgo, and Scorpio on their side with the King of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. The Divine Masculine had Cancer and Capricorn or Pisces, as well as Libra on their side, along with the Knight of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Now this number read was the most profound I've ever done, because there were very few numbers in this read. They were like the closest to all zeros that I've ever had, and the other numbers were all eights of the dancing 2 eights. And we had 14 and 16 and 6, which is the Lovers, the Tower, and the Higher Love. All right, which is, and the overall number was 30, which is Union. So I'm going to show you a picture of that grid just so you understand where I'm getting this from. Okay, so there's the number grid right there. Okay, so that is, the overall number was 30 from this read, and 30 is the Union. The horizontal pillars were 16 from 88, which is the Tower, and then the number 6, that's it, the Lovers, and then the 8, that's it, which is the Strength and the Dance, the manifestation of dreams. The vertical pillars came up as all zeros except for 1, 8, and then a 14, and there's triple zeros, 8, 14, then triple zeros again, another 8, and then 30, which is the dance of the Higher Love, and then the dance of the Union. Or it's the 2 dancing fools around the Higher Love. As I'm losing my voice because I need to speak up, the 30 of the Union. So the messages around this were coming up as, this is very profound, the sudden lovers dance in union, the sudden manifestation of union, crazy 8s in a higher love of union, strong patience manifesting dreams of union, and strong patient dance of the union. The King of Swords and the Queen of Cups in energetic exchange, while the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands ground. The Page of Cups and Knight of Cups are the flyers. So again, this could be one child from each family. If you don't have children, this could just reference messages. But it was just a grounding mechanism on one side, and then the flyers or the etheric energies on the other, and there could be one child who's one each of those on each side, while the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups are in that energetic exchange between them as the twins. And that was at 12:54, which is the Hanging Man, and the 54 of the Page of Swords, which is a message, a Christ, Mary Magdalene, or Christos Sophia message. So then I was asking the cards about the 3 dark nights that keep coming up. Is this actually 3 dark nights? Is this what we're going to experience? Can I get any information about when this is going to be, if this is actually happening, and what it means? So first I was getting the number 43, which happens to be my son's soul number. And the labyrinth, the 3 layers to the 4th in the center, which is the 0 point, right? Because we always talk about 3s. The messages I always get about 3s is that the 4th is crossing over. So in this reality of 3D, yes, everything's about 3s, but the 4th is the other side, is the center, it's the 0 point. The Empress to the Emperor, and again that 3.5 being half of 7 and staying to the light of the center, right? Or to, always a little bit in the middle, but a little bit to the side of the light. So again, the 3 to the 4 out of 7, which is the 43 number, which is a 7, which is the 3 of Cups of coming together. So it's a lot about the 3 and the 3 to 4 energies of the Emperor and the Empress. But again, sharing. And of course, you can never share absolutely because energy fluctuates, so you'll never be exactly at center all the time, which is saying always reference a little bit to the light of the middle, which is again like alkaline and acidity in the body. You always want to err to the side of alkaline, otherwise, Cancer loves acidity. So that's a catch-22 when you get Cancer, because it's playing catch-up when it's already too late, right? Because the acidity takes over the body. So the 26 came up, which is the Page of Wands, and then 30, and the 41 of well wishes of love, the 21 of the Mountain, which is also completion, and then the first with a breakthrough of the Lovers and the timelines of unconditional love. And that was at 128 when I did those cards, and that's the Magician and the Twin Flames. So I was also wondering when the North Node, I keep telling you I don't know when the North Node changes from Gemini, so it doesn't change until January 19th. So here we are on the 19th of August. And isn't that the That's actually 5 months, not 6 months, right? Yeah, so 5 months from now exactly is when we shift out of Gemini into Taurus energy as the North Node. So there was a reason I was supposed to look that up so you understand the timelines of the North Node shift into Taurus. And then at 1:33, when the North Node changes, is the message I was getting on January 19th, 22. Notice the 22, the 19 to the 22, which is why they brought it up, which is right now. The 19th to the 22nd is when we're supposed to start getting these big changes in our right brain. Death is 8, deliverance is 9, burden 36, which is the Atlas way to the world, and then the North Node was coming up as number 42, which is the Two of Cups. The two hearts is one. The North Node, remember Gemini is also the twins. It's also mercurial. So also getting the energies of going on the 22nd from chatter of the Gemini to commitment of Taurus in January, right? Because Taurus is very long-standing, whereas Gemini is very quick and communicative. So getting over the third question when I'm still asking about the three dark nights. At 1:39 is the Magician and the Knight of Cups. And here's the Magician as the Gemini, and the 39 is the Knight of Cups, which very much can be that Scorpio dark night energy of the masculine. The underlying over self, being over the self in ego death, with Judgment reversed and Five of Cups reversed on top, needing to swallow their pride and get over it. In a twist of fate to bliss with lover, the post-war dumping of a load, burden, or responsibilities on the King of Cups reversed, with the truth and triumph, perhaps the pen being mightier than the sword, of the happy family and emotional fulfillment, as the Knight of Cups is off to be love, which is funny because that came up in the message of the day where the Knight of Cups was the last card going off in their own direction to lead the way. So you guys can figure out what you want if you're still arguing about this stuff, but I'm going to go be love. So that's the Knight of Cups energy with the Holy Grail, which is the Jesus and Mary Magdalene energy. And in this question here, there was only the three air signs. So the message they were giving me was the three dark nights are the three air signs. Okay, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So it's not only the actual energies or people of air signs who are all about thoughts and words, which is the worst part of the ego, right? It's the painful part because it bases you in your brain as opposed to your heart. So it's referencing the hardest journey of the air signs because they have to get past what's natural to them, which is to just be in their brain and not in their heart. It doesn't mean that air signs aren't loving people, but their focus as an air sign has to do with thoughts and words and the brain, intellectualizing. So 3 air signs and also the time periods were very significant coming up here. Remember, and I was also getting Aquarius is ruled by thoughts, whereas Libra is ruled by words here. They were both coming up reversed, but Gemini, because they're in the North Node, where it's coming up upright, as in the ego death, leading the way. The lovers and the twins of the Gemini. 3 dark nights, the air signs, as the King of Cups reversed with conditions, brings truth to the family of the Knight of Cups upright, who's off to be love. So again, thoughts and words and ego death. No options but to commit and share, with Rapunzel suffering in silence. Again, that's the energy of swords, the 9 of swords, because you're too much in your mind as opposed to your heart. Believing that intellect rules over the heart and the connection of the heart, which is not true. So we have I was also getting Knight, this was this morning though. I had written this yesterday, but this morning I went back over this and I was getting Knight to King, like King to Rook, like chess game. The Knight to King, which is coming up as the Knight of Cups, offering love to the King, which is checkmate, right? The King can't get out of that. It's someone who's offering them love. They can't be mean. They can't fight. They're offering them love. So that 149, which is the Magician, the 49 of the 9 of Cups, I was getting not 7 of Swords reverse, which is the coming clean and getting clean or cleaning up the act, which is maybe referencing the Magician, but rather the 6 of the Lovers, the 6 Knights, to the King of Pentacles, right? He's the very stable man who takes care of a lot of different people, looking to start over an energetic exchange with the cups satisfied, right? So we were just talking about the Pentacles and the Montagues, the Montagues and the Capulets. So here the cups were coming up satisfied, and this is before I did any of the Capulets and Montagues read this morning. This was yesterday. But the cups or the Capulets are coming up as satisfied. The Pentacles or the Montagues are coming out as performing, right? Because they're the money makers. And then Gemini is coming out as manifesting big, right? Because it's coming up as the neutrality, the twins, the lovers. And manifesting big as being neutral. By coming clean, finding peace with the King of Pentacles, humble provider, without attention seeking of the magician. So it's like the magician's taking the ego out of magician, and the King of Pentacles taking the ego out of his position as well. So they're all going through this ego death in different ways. The North Node is changing in January 19th. Again, the 3 nights are coming up as like now through the 22nd, where then we start connecting in a very significant way from the message I just got from my meditation about how our right brain is going to be upgraded. Gemini, remember the Gemini energy is not just Gemini and Mercury, but it's the twins and the lovers, the 6 of the lovers, which is also love, family, and community. And then I was getting, because of the time periods, right, because Libra is September to October, 9-10, begin again. Aquarius is January to February, which is 1-2, buckle my shoes. And then Gemini is 5-6, pick up sticks, from May to June, which are coming up as some of the hardest times of the year, right? September to October is when, for a lot of people, they're very seasonally affected at this time because it gets dark and cold, and they can fall into depressions because there's nothing going on until Thanksgiving, and then the holidays tend to cheer people up a little bit. The 1-2 is the dead of the winter, where you've already gotten past the holidays and a little bit into January, and now it's like, now what? We still got 2 more months of cold to go. And again, this differs in depending on what sphere you're in of the world, but this is my message, so it's in my environment. And then we have the 5-6, which is from May to June, which is the time period of the year where spring is gone now, and it's like, well, what have we got? You know, spring's supposed to be the time where we accomplish everything, and it's already gone, and we're already in June, and the summer's here. Like it's going to be cold already when we get to September, so people start already obsessing about what hasn't been accomplished while we still have the warm weather going into the summer, because now they're on vacation. They don't have time to manifest anymore. So again, I was getting the nursery rhyme of 1-2, buckle my shoes. So I went in to look at the lyrics, but they're different from what I remember, because I remember 1-2, buckle my shoes, 3-4, shut the door. But they were some of them say tie my shoes, and some of them saying knock at the door, not shut the door. It was always shut the door when I was growing up. And then 5-6, pick up sticks, that was right. And 7-8, lay them straight. 9-10, begin again. But they don't say begin again. They said a big fat hen. I don't remember that at all. I always remember begin again. So yeah, it was some of the energies changing. You can tell me if you disagree with me, if you're about my age, because I'm turning 60 this year, so it's a long time ago. And again, the 3 air signs with thoughts and words, the 3 dark nights, 9-10, 1-2, 5-6, as far as the timelines of Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, and ego death. So it's coming up like Libra energy is after the end, Aquarius is coming up as after the beginning, and then the Gemini energy is coming up as after the middle. So they're always after. They're not the beginning, end, or the middle, but they're always after those events, which is, I guess, making it more difficult, puts you in your head. All right, so this was weird too. I had answered a comment online, and right as I was doing that, there was a picture frozen from an advertisement on my computer, and it was a picture of, the card that came up yesterday of the Divine Feminine in the Journey of Love bending over backward. Well, this was literally a skater bending over backward, freeze framed in the same position. It was so weird. And that happens all the time now, like where I instantly see the picture I'm looking at in the cards on TV or outside in nature. It's just instant now. But I also noticed in that picture of the skater bending over backward, there was a husband and wife and a son walking by. The wife was standing behind the husband, and the son was walking next to the husband. The husband was trying not to look at this girl, because she had like a uniform on, like not gymnastics, but like performing, so there's no pants on. And she's bending over backwards, right? So her crotch basically is facing them. The old man is trying to look like he's not looking. The son and the mother, the mother's walking behind him, the son's walking next to him. They have no problem watching, but he has a wound about it, right? He's not allowed to look at the sexual female bending over backwards skating. So that was interesting too. All right, so then we have the twin flame read here. And this was very interesting. I keep getting EI in the headers this past couple weeks, and EI is one of the meanings is egg, but that's what always comes up for me. It's the mother and the egg, and there's other definitions as well. But the agaros came up, which if you watch Elena Denon, that's where Annex is from, where she has a connection with Annex. And I was getting as the agaros, I'm not sure how it's spelled, but I was getting eggs are us. So the EI that keeps coming up is referencing the agaros. And agaros is coming up as eggs are us. So that was interesting. And also Ireland comes up there because of the IE, right? The reflection of Ireland. And that's where Elena is. So very interesting there. So this twin flame read was done at 8 o'clock on the nose. Well, actually, no. At 7:39 is when I cut the Syrian Starseed deck. 7 is the Chariot, 39 is the Knight of Cups again. And then at 8 o'clock, F crystals came up. So again, F can be the F word, but for me it's not. It means the phi energy of expanding and contracting, or just in the middle, reflecting crystals, which can be purging and cry stalls, or crystals, as ALS means like Christ, being Christ-like. So expanding and reflecting, being Christ-like or purging. And then ALS also came up again. So Lou Gehrig's, any kind of autoimmune issues may be coming up, or just being like something but not actually being it. You're never exactly like something else. Just like I said, you can't be exactly at midpoint at any time because energy moves. So I finished clarifying at 8:14, which is the 8 of the dance, the manifestation of dreams, the inner and outer strength, and then the 14 of the higher love. 9:14 is interesting because someone had always told me, or had told me a couple years ago, that 9, 4, and 14 were my lucky numbers. And then I just listened to someone calling a certain group the 4 nines or the 9:14. I think it was 4 nines or 9 4, something like that. But those two numbers were coming up as identifying a group. And that was a very psychic energy coming up. Okay, so forgiveness came up on the code line today. So very important to be in forgiveness. And that doesn't mean you have to hang out with the person you're forgiving. It means you're forgiving them so that you can be at peace. Okay? And just be love without feeling angst, right? Because you're punishing yourself when you do those things. When you don't forgive, you punish yourself. So it's forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and just being in that state of forgiveness at 0 point, always coming back to the present moment. We have the major arcana of the higher self, the wheel, and the strength card. And before the read was reflection, which is the hermit. Again, the fleck and the flicker of the left eye that was coming up earlier, it's coming up again. The higher self, the great wheel, and the strength card, which is also Pisces, Libra, and Leo for me, as well as reflection of the Virgo energy. We had 2 cups, 1 wand, 2 swords, and 3 pentacles. So mostly pentacles here, which is time, money, and effort, not just money. It's practical things of day-to-day energies, but pretty well balanced overall. The least of wands, which is, a lot of physical activity and passion. So that's more downplayed today. We have the 9 of cups, the 9 of pentacles, both in the main part of the read, as well as the page of pentacles and the queen of pentacles, which can be a mother and child. They could be siblings as well. Or just 2 earth signs, one much younger than the other. The Queen of Swords came up before the read, and after the read was the Queen of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Page of Wands. So like all different energies, but there could be a mother and child here too with the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, right? So we could have mothers and children hanging out here, right? We have how many queens? 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 queens are here. So definitely a lot of mothers hanging out, but children as well. We have 2 pages and a knight. We have double 4s, double 7s, double 9s in this read, the 44 of the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, the 77 of the sovereignty, the 99 of compassion. So very profound energy there. We also have the 910 of begin again, the 79 of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and the 47 of the synchronicities in heaven in their eyes. Again, and the 14, which is very profound, which is the higher love. Very all high vibe energies here. Along with the 12 of the hangman, and the 34, which came up earlier on the time as the energetic exchange, the 8 of Wands, the arrows of love, the energy between the masculine and the feminine, and the hanging man, which is the Jesus, Mary Magdalene template. The code line was all about forgiveness, and the number came up as 719. So again, the 19 coming up here of today, and when the North Node shifts into Taurus. It came from the numbers 710, which is 0 behind 71, the 3 of Pentacles, the co-creation card, and the number 9 of the Hermit, the wise one, the collective consciousness, which is also endings and compassion. All around forgiveness here today. So the messages were coming up as the foe or the enemy of Sophia was coming up as the TV, which isn't television, which can be, but it's your telepathic vision, the DNA of that higher energy, as the divine feminine within the divine masculine in the chariot, and their bliss state, collecting the hermit, or the collective consciousness, or the hermit, right? Because the hermit is the collective consciousness as well. It's both definitions come up here as the wise one. That's an example coming up here. Also, freedom of speech comes up here regarding TV or telepathic vision. Higher as Sophia, or as the chariot and ascension ends pain or creates bliss. The hermit of the 9, the collective consciousness, for example. The hermit sleeps. The collective consciousness is I, God, ego, the egg, and or the old oak tree, right? Very stable and strong. Also coming up is to exist and feel worthless, to feel like shit, as the rest stop, a wall that's up, until the turn of the telepathic vision, until you turn it on. The high era Sophia, the chariot, the divine feminine within the divine masculine in bliss, with compassion of God, I am that I am, the ego, and the egg. And then 710 was coming up as source-supported co-creation. So we start with the 9 of Cups upright, which is the Get Your Wish card. Self-satisfaction, happiness. There can be some ego and there can be some arrogance here, depending on what cards it's with, right? So below the 9 of Cups was the 4 of Pentacles upright, but 5th card down, which is the divine masculine's heart in the Batcave. Then the Queen of Swords upright. Then the 7 of Swords reversed, the 2 of Cups reversed, and reflection, or the Hermit, upright. The divine masculine's heart in the Batcave, and the Queen of Swords is upright, coming clean or cleaning up. She can be cleaning up her act, or she could be cleaning up her space, just cleaning house. But both of them in disconnect or at a distance. So in disconnect would be together but not seeing eye to eye, or apart and not being able to see each other face to face, reflecting their wishes. The Knight of Cups is upright, offering love to present or as a gift of the angel and the devil here. The patient angel and the temptation waving. The Atlas with the weight of the world on their shoulders, resisting ascension with the Chariot over the devil, or Cancer over Capricorn Sag. The Queen of Pentacles Taurus, or married, religious, or institutionalized, or part of the establishment person, is coming up as unable to sleep, or awakened and coming out, or out in the cold, trying to end the pain, suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with a sister, or is the sister, with the Empress reversed, or mother in lack, or a boss, being very bossy or mean, and the Queen of Cups loving, intuitive and kind, or the Empress reversed, losing their mind. So it could be a parent with dementia or Alzheimer's, or something else where she needs caring. But she's coming up as with the pink blankie or green blankie or both. Or the Queen of Cups is focusing on her heart and her high heart, which is referencing as the green and pink. Also animal print coming up here with lots of material. The Empress reversed on pins and needles, or open to the gates of hell, which is you doing it to yourself, deciding to stay in the dark energies of pain. And the Queen of Cups upright, using the mother for material perhaps, and this could be somebody else, judging them for that. Wish granted or grounded and happy with self. Justice or Libra is out watching. The Queen of Swords upright reviews, or this could be a Queen of Swords who's Libra. The Leo putting kids to bed and giving it a rest, or folding the laundry, while the Knight of Wands reversed is paralyzed by their passions or injured and needs taken care of. So, someone who's usually like energized and up and about may have an injury and not being able to do that. And here I also have Taurus both upright and reversed, which is very stubborn energy, right? And that could be vacillating between the two things too. And they're already fixed. Taurus of all the signs like change the least. And when they're reversed, they just, you can't get them to budge or move or do anything, right? So Leo or child pet may be cowering with the tail between their legs, or the Queen of Swords is pacifying the beast, making everything okay. Leo upright and Sag reversed with lots of material about angels and players, or this could be angels and demons, so that could be coming up as well, the movie. Someone falling off the horse and not following through, or the beast being pacified and going right out and doing it again. So it's like someone who's an enabler, right? Because they keep making it all better and then they keep going out and doing the same thing. And this is at 9:04, and I just told you there was a 9:4 group that just came up online. So could be in court, and this could be someone who's allowing others to keep doing the same old thing because instead of giving them tough love, they're allowing them to just fall into their arms and say, it's okay, you're perfect, and all that kind of stuff. It's not about that. It's about being loving and honest with each other and allowing others to figure things out for themselves, not you fixing it for them so that they don't learn their lesson that they're supposed to learn. And by the way, the movie that I watched was out of my league. Okay, so it could be in court with the Queen of Swords lawyer, with Leo calming the Knight of Wands reversed Sag, as the judge or Libra looks out to see what's holding things up. Getting to know each other, and passion comes up. At night, perhaps somebody's double dating, reflecting, drinking, or swapping, caught with their pants down and or burdened with sassy Sag or moody Angel, opening up to clarify or cracked under pressure and blabbed, or no longer to be silenced. You wanted it, so here it is. Cancer upright, Sag upright, called in the midst of it, or caught in the midst of it, or called in the midst of it, with new information and awake and coming out with this information. I was getting peach chiffon and perfect toes with no manicures to pay for, so someone's like excited about that, taking off their hat to them with no need for feathers in their cap to impress them. She talks, and now he must listen. Parenting comes up with 63, which is that suffering and silence energy of parenting, which whether it's the child or the parent. And then creativity was below that with the number 3 of the Empress and abundance or lack thereof. So synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, emotionally fulfilled and needing to heal with a new life. The Page of Wands inspired to leave and detox the chaos, perhaps in Florida or the orange groves, perhaps leaving a mess in the poop behind that was not picked up. The Page of Wands' move here with Italian tile or terracotta, sporting 2 feathers or getting rid of horns, or leaving Dallas behind, or 1 child in Florida and 1 on their own. Aquarius reversed and Capricorn reversed, depressed and going through withdrawal. The underlying energy here of the King of Pentacles working nights for parties or reunions or a social event, or that could just be their work in general, doing that kind of work, And then going forward, after this read, we have the Knight of Swords reversed, lashing out or holding their tongue, but wanting to say something, in disconnect or at a distance, with the Devil temptation or Capricorn waving, and burdened by the Emperor reversed, who may be out of control, whether it's abusing his power, or he's out of control and stepping down from power because he can't handle it anymore, or he's just getting old. With the Queen of Swords upright, offering a new life, to the King of Pentacles, Dark Night, or in transition, starting over. Wish granted, happy with self, detoxing, the Queen of Cups upright with the Knight of Wands reversed, no longer quiet about parenting and suffering in silence, or a sister. In the recent past is the Seven of Cups upright, ascending, circling up, synchronicities and steps, 2 by 2s, seeing the one, a third party perhaps, or dumping bad influences or friends they no longer resonate with, getting over the loss, regret, and the Page of Cups who's loving with the Knight of Swords or Page of Cups holding their tongue, with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups reversed, perhaps with a condition, at work with the Divine Feminine, the 5D, or Pisces reversed, frustrated, trying to implement a plan here. The foundation being the higher self reversed, whether it's someone who needs to use their intuition or a secret passion, out in the cold, injured, and the Page of Wands inspired to implement a plan to block them, or refusing to budge, or refusing to let them get in. And again, this could be that Taurus energy. The central energy is the Four of Wands upright, the home, the union, the stability, the celebration, with the Queen of Pentacles Hermit or Virgo, and the King of Cups reversed, Scorpio reversed, perhaps overworking or not aligning with the Empress reversed, which can be anything of lack. It can be a mother of lack. It can be a mother who's passed already. It can be a mother in lack, whether she's injured, ill, or just expects everyone to do things for her, or a really mean boss who is really mean to everyone, demanding that they do everything for them. But presenting the truth to the twin post-war. As the challenge is the Ten of Swords upright, ending pain or betrayal, or in a painful end, in a losing battle with negative self-talk, or rumors, and ending conflict at 9:48, the Hermit and the walking away and within, with the immature child, frustrated, not amused or aroused, standing up to the Queen of Cups, who's upright, sending love, with an offer of a new life to end the war and perform with them perhaps, or juggle, or perhaps help distract. After a jealous rage, there are fond memories and nostalgia coming up here, with the Ten of Cups happy, family hanging out, with the Knight or the King of Swords upright, present to sunshine, energy, fun, vacation, full exposure, who's destined to grant wish after sudden event of dependent or powerlessness. Now, destined to be dumped without affection, suffering in silence after a sudden event, epiphany, or sex, a heated exchange, and unable to function, detoxing, starting over, committing at night to rising above and awakening. After a sudden event, soulmates, with the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps not well. She could be tired, sick, or pissed off. With poor judgment of the Empress reversed, in a painful ending of fairy justice, with the Hierophant, establishment, religion, marriage, or Taurus, and the Emperor reversed, out of control, without peace, walking away from kids in a losing battle and getting over it. At 10:39, the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Cups. The Page of Swords reversed, unable to breathe, perhaps planning death. This could be someone who's paranoid that everything's going to kill them, right? But this also can be someone who has an illness where they have asthma or something that prevents them from breathing, okay? So it could be literal as well. So soon here is the Nine of Pentacles reversed, whether it's a dependent or someone who's powerless or lost their power, money, and independence recently, where it's destined, the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, with delays to hang out with news, patient without peace, with the King of Swords upright here. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Ace of Swords upright, the truth in triumph, the truth of the disconnect or distance and needing to swallow their pride, coming clean, cleaning up their act or space, insecure without tools, or perhaps there's manipulation here too, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community or world, dysfunction or loss or misuse of funds. With the World upside down, with the Divine Feminine and the 5D, and the Ten of Cups happy ending, as well as the release of the 1051, the Wheel of Fortune, the turn for the better, destiny, and the 51 of the King of Swords. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the strength of the home, the union, and the King of Swords. The Fool falling, perhaps embarrassed, with the Page of Swords reversed and the King of Cups reversed, with rumors, perhaps, and a condition, or conditions of love, perhaps depressed and in need of hope. And the block being the Page of Pentacles, who's curious about the surrender and about their abilities. Of the King of Wands, who's reversed at work, perhaps exhausted or sick, or again, pissed off. But again, forgiveness is coming up here, very important. In an offer of a new life, in a bold move, the Queen of Pentacles with negative self-talk, who's destined to get their wish after a sudden event of powerlessness, or with a dependent daughter. The Queen of Pentacles upright, perhaps dealing with death and ending, a transition, dark night of the soul, or a transformation, with dependent healing and not sharing due to a painful ending or a painful death. The Queen of Pentacles is upright, satisfied but under the radar, in need of attention. And the Queen of Pentacles upright, the Queen of Wands is reversed, the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, as well as a third party without joy, and then the Queen of Cups upright with the Page of Wands upright, holding on together. So the Nine of Cups is the get your wish card, right? The self-satisfaction, being happy alone. With the secret passion, with the truth and being strong, ascending with synchronicities in union, challenged by the pain and the powerlessness of that Ten of Swords, the pain of painful endings or ending pain. That could be getting a massage as well. But the powerlessness, maybe some people don't like massages because they feel powerless, they're not in control. And the Page of Pentacles destined, with the Queen of Pentacles upright, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, maybe social distancing from the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands, who are being moderate. So again, it could be taking sides too about who has it and who doesn't have it, right? So the Hermit is happy with themselves, climbing stairs, perhaps to detox chaos. They could be working out, running up and down stairs, or just running up and down stairs doing work around the house. A secret passion in union, challenged by ending pain and betrayal, destined to the truth, with dependent and being strong through the ring of fire, the Page of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles, mother and child, or perhaps siblings, and the Queen of Wands reversed with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, may be bad influences on the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands at 11:21, which is justice and the completion of the world, coming full circle. So let's go ahead and pull a few oracle cards, see what's coming up from the animal deck, the Animal Spirit Guidebook. It's 1:16 on the clock, which is the Magician and the Tower. And here it's 1:07:31, 2, and 3, which is the expansion, the journey, and the Christ vibration of the 1 and the 7, which is the Magician and the Chariot, right? Magician embodiment and the Chariot of ascension of the Divine Feminine within the Divine Masculine, and descending quickly to 1:17, which is then the Magician and the Stars, the Galactic Friends. So needing to come together as a world so then we can then connect with other worlds. Okay, let's see what the Animal Spirit deck has for us today. What is our message? Take another deep breath. What is the takeaway from this reading today? Okay, these two are coming up together. The bee, who looks very exhausted. Sorry, my cord's stuck on my arm. The bee's exhausted, and the turtle saying, you know, don't fence me in. I'm tired. I'm going at my own pace. And this is reminding me of, in my vision before the video, of the Frankenstein girl who's crawling into bed because she can't even get, she's so tired she can't get up to make it to bed. So it's kind of like that energy. They're both exhausted. And that was coming up with the King and Queen of Wands in the read as well. So, but again, this one's very in moderate energy, but they're still exhausted, right? They can't hold themselves up anymore. And the turtle's slowing down even more to a halt. It's like, go on without me. I can't make it. And then we have these two coming out together. Oh, they're so cute. The otter and the frog. The frog is like, you're not going to wait for us? Where are you going? So the otter is just curious and friendly and loving to all. It's like my 2-year-old in a diaper. And there's the frog who hasn't become the prince, but doesn't want everyone to leave them behind either. Well, just because I have warts doesn't mean you're going to get them. Come back and be my friend. They're kind of like, you know, and the frog's naturally green, so they're naturally in their heart, right? And they're all looking one direction. These two, you know, usually the busy bee and the turtle who never stops, right? They keep going. They're slow, but they keep going. They're even out of commission right now. And here's the little ones saying, where are you going? I want to play, or I need you for something. And then these two are also looking in the same direction. The hawk, who's got all this 3D energy chasing them, basically, and he's trying to stay clear. He's probably transmuting those energies as he flies, the hawk. And then there's the hyena, who's making fun of it all, right? Because that's what they do, right? Black and white here. You have to decide if you're going towards the light or the dark. So then on the other side here, because we're talking about sides today, we have the graceful gazelle and the sweet little mouse. All right, do you see what's going on here? We've got a dragonfly next too. And look, I'm just going to show you these two, but I'm not going to pull them out. So this is like the positive light side, right? The sweet little innocent ones. And by the way, the bear's at the bottom. There's the bear, the mama bear, or the powers that be. That could be a bear kind of market as well. But again, we had a late hibernation this year too. So coming out in the summer instead of the spring, because the bear was extra sleepy this year. So you see what's going on here now. We got these two guys in the way of these two young ones coming together with these two young ones, which definitely came up in my messages of the day. The two young ones trying to come together to make peace, right? Because they don't care about the stuff that's keeping the parents apart, right? Here's the hawk in the light, and here's the hyena in the dark, right? And their differences coming between the young innocent ones who just want to come together and be loved. You see that? So that's a very nice message there. So the usuals who are doing all the work, they're not. They just can't do it anymore. They're stopping. They're taking a break, or they're quitting, or they're saying, leave me alone, go do it yourself. So whether it's your parents doing it to your kids, but there's also these other energies of differences between families coming up to keep the kids apart, and the kids are not going to stand for that. They're going to go ahead and be together anyway, which is going to then eventually bring the families together. So here we have the owls of wisdom and the bear, you know, who kind of the mother bear energy and the father owl. That's what I'm getting here. Here's the parents who are in the underlying energy, being very watchful for everyone, but the owl is in dark energy. The bear is in light energy, right? The mother and father, you see how they're inverse? They're two as one, working together, but they're exhausted right now. So now the kids have to learn on their own. Let's see what the journey of love has to say about that. Journey of love. That came right out. Simplicity. There's that sweet little child too, right? The sweet simple blade of grass, and the sweet little piglet or mouse, whatever you want to say it is, and the bird flying above. Everyone making it simple, just doing their own thing and doing what makes them happy. The four of stability, which is the emperor's energy of having control. If you want full control over everything, then you need to simplify your life. And then we have the sacred convergence again, which again is the 9/11 memorial with the push-pop effect coming up with the light, and the ETs or masters coming out here at the Statue of Liberty, right, where the Palladian ship is supposed to come in to meet with the angels. And again, the 28 is the angels, the twin flames. And the 4 is the other side I just said to you, right, where they're pure, they keep things simple. And this is the sacred convergence, is the ETs meeting with the twins at the 9/11 Statue of Liberty area. I don't know how that's coming together, but that energy keeps coming up. And then we have beauty here. You need your beauty rest, right? I told you that she had to crawl into bed because you're being converted. So 58, get your rest. Make sure you go to bed early. 58 is the 4 of Swords, again, about taking a break, resting, meditating, praying, connecting in 5D, but getting your beauty sleep. Very important. The bottom of the deck is, again, this is my card of Paul and Linda McCartney on their record, but literally being able to walk through the cyclone without being affected, being neutral in every situation, right? Whether they're in the vortex or in the cyclone, it doesn't matter. They're very balanced either way and holding hands, okay? The dance of the planets, the 56 of the Two of Swords, which is being in your knowing without having to prove it, basically. It's keeping your energy clear. And then we have, again, the two alignments of the masculine and the feminine don't need to go anywhere, but the more they're together, the more they become one. Then the space between them lessens and lessens. They don't have to move a bit. They just naturally come together, just like as the vein comes to the vowels and then out again. The angel of Jupiter awakening comes up. This is the third day in a row. 6 is the lovers. All you have to do is just float along and allow the convergence to happen. Okay? To be able to be in the chaos without being of it. Being able to be neutral in a chaotic situation, whether you're in the vortex or not. Being able to hold hand with others and make peace in the dance of the planets. Being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear or to yourself, whatever's needed at the time. Okay? So that's very significant. I'm going to read to you the B because that's the first one that came out. The B obviously is air. Where are you, B? So the B is earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The B personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They're sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work, and then they gripe, and then they sting, which is where they are right now. When they're in balance, they're content, active, and vibrant, but when they're out of balance, they're overworked and annoyed. To bring back into balance, a mini vacation is in order here, all right? So you're being told to take a vacation and get your beauty rest. And so from the other deck, the first card out was Simplicity of the number 4. Remember, the 4 is the other side. So let's see how this relates to that. Simplicity. Bow to that which is simple. You will find answers to your most complex issues and those questions that seem to defy the possibility of an answer. You'll find the solution now through simplicity. Live one day at a time, have gratitude for whatever you possibly can, even if you're yet to understand why you should be grateful, because you cannot perceive the gift hiding within your struggles quite yet. Trust in the goodness of life, seeking to serve you into becoming the fullness of all that you are. Yes, beloved, even in your darkest night, I was just getting with your banky, the light of love is serving you. The most sophisticated of problems can be resolved through the simple answer. Love, trust, have faith, be patient. So again, for me, that's me always reminding you that Mr. Ed, right? He's the horse trainer. That's the God energy. You keep showing up every day with 2 apples, organic ones, and just wait for the horse to come to you. But you keep showing up even if they don't come to you. You show up in love with 2 apples. Wait and you shall see. Let simplicity be. This oracle brings you an answer. Everything's going to be all right. Don't add fuel to the fire or look for ways to sort out complicated matters prematurely. Sometimes ingredients need to cook and percolate so that they can become a meal. The circumstances with which you are struggling will right themselves in time. Stay present and be patient. Pray in your own way. Meditation, time in nature, dance, and literally talk to the divine. When you need to take a clear, simple action, you will feel it. Relax and know it is all going to work out for the best. And it simply states, there is peace for one whose heart is open. Okay? And so that, again, is like the horse trainer. No matter what the horse does to you, how mad or mean or defiant they are, refusing to come to you, the horse trainer shows up with love and their 2 apples every day and puts the apples out for the horse. And if they want to come to them, they can. If they don't, they don't. But they keep coming back the next day with an open heart. So there you go. Make sure you drink your water, and today especially get your rest. It's 1:28 on the clock, which is the magician embodiment of the twins. Take a deep breath. It's going to be 1:19:19 right now. All right, so that's one of the magician. The two 19s are the two suns, the sun and the central sun, and the magician embodiment of the twins. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. But again, they're saying rest is most important right now because you're going to have some major upgrades going on. And the 3 dark nights might actually be now through the 22nd when you're going to start getting those right brain upgrades. And yeah, just go with it. I'd love to hear what your experiences are in the next week or so. And be good to yourselves. Take a deep breath. Rise and be love, you guys. I'll see you soon.